Hey guys, thank you for joining me. Now, if this is your very first time tuning in, let me introduce myself. My name is Cynthia. I am the creator and the founder of Crowns of Glory Collections. Again, thank you for joining me. Now, you know, to my royal nation, woo! Thank you for joining me again, and thank you for all of your support. So, I know I've been talking to you all for a while about my lace tint, how I, get the perfect color, what are those steps that I actually use, and also the product. So, you know, I love spilling tea all over the place. So I'm going to spill some tea about lace tint today, okay? So the things that I actually try, I've tried so many things. I've actually purchased lace tint from other people, and it just did not work that well for me. I did not come across lace tint that I could just really just put my stamp of approval. Now, I know it's a lot of them out there, but I decided to just do it myself, okay? So that's what I started doing about maybe a year and a half ago. So what I started with doing my research, I started with this. Yes, everybody talk about the red dye. So I did do that. But with that, you still have to make sure that you know how much of this color, how much of that color that you need to use. But I did try this and I did like it, but I just wanted to step it up a little bit more. The other colors that I've tried Kiss, that name brand. Adore, I've tried that name brand as well, and also different colors. I have Paprika, I have Red Velvet, this is Kiss brand, and this is Black Cherry, also Kiss brand, and this is Dark Warm Brown, and that brand as well. And then in the red, I have Tan and I have Dark Brown. So those are two. And I had another color of brown as well, but I used all that up a while back. So in Adore, I have Cinnamon, I have Cajun Spice, I have Sunrise Orange, and I have Honey Brown. Okay, so I've used all those colors to, just trying to see different brands. Would that give me the look that I want with my lace tint? Again, let me go back. Why you want to use lace tint? Let's just talk about that, okay? I'm going to tell you why I like to use lace tint. I like to use lace tint because it's going to give you a better illusion, and then you don't have to do so many extra steps. I mean, you still have to do other things to get everything just perfect, okay? You want everything to be intentional. You want it to be precise. So it's still some other steps, but to get you there, you want to make sure that you tint your lace. Now, the lace. Sometimes you will get lace and it will have a greenish undertone or just a grayish undertone. So you need to know as well, because you could have your tint, but if your lace have a different type of undertone, that could give you another color as well. So please keep that in mind, okay? So the lace itself could give you a whole different color. If you're dealing with this one vendor and the lace is like this, and use your lace tint. I've done that before, guys. Use my lace tint. It looks good on this particular lace, but when I start using another lace, use that same lace tint, it looked different. So, and it's because of how, how they actually make and what they use to make their, okay? So I do want you to bear that in mind. So after I tried this, and again, it worked, but I felt like I could do something a little bit better. Okay, so I decided to I'm gonna push this over to the side. So I haven't used this in a very long time. So what I started to do, I start to do my research. I tell you all the time, even though I want to give you some great, accurate information, I do want you to encourage you to do your own research. It's nothing like you knowing your stuff, you have researched it, and you know it for yourself. You're not taking it from me. You know, just like you go to church, you need to read your own Bible. Don't just go to church and want a preacher to give you all the word. You need to read for yourself. So just like that, you need to make sure that you do all your research yourself, okay? So again, this is what I started to do. I actually came across this, and I got, this is actually powder in here. So it's different colors here. And I got these from the wig department. And so I just have just different colors. I mean, I think I have all of them actually. So it's 6 different colors, and it goes by numbers here. So I have 1 through 6. Again, they're powder that you will mix yourself. Okay, so I got all these things from the wig department, and let me go over the items that I actually invest in. Before I even started, this is what I invest in. I like to give you all the products that I have. So again, I invest in my color, okay, from the wig department. I also invest in some clear bottles. Now I've used these, so that's why it's colored like that. So I use these clear bottles here, and I got those from Amazon. I have some measuring spoons here. I got those from Amazon, and this whole set came together. Okay, so if you see here, and I'm going to drop a picture in there where I got it from Amazon. This whisk here, I got this from Sally's a long time ago. With this product, you do need to wear gloves. It's very imperative that you wear gloves, and you need to have on a mask because you don't want that powder to get in your system anyway. So again, you need to make sure safety is always first. Get you some gloves, put on a mask before you start doing this, okay? Another thing that you want to get, very important, is salt. You want the iodized salt. That's the one you want when you get ready to mix your colors, okay? And also I have these, which I got from Sally's years ago. I use this when I do my color. And I have a funnel, and I think that I got this from Walmart or the Dollar Tree, one of the two. And also, in order to mix the color, I have some wooden little sticks here that I use to mix my color with, and I have my little measuring cup here. I got this from Sally's as well. And I have a tea kettle here. I got this from Amazon as well. So, because you want your water to be hot, okay? You want your water to be hot when you do this. Another thing that I have a notebook. Yes, old school. I'm old school. I like to write things down. Now, again, side note. When you're doing this, guys, you want to make sure that you write down your steps, okay? I'm going to tell you why, because I've done this before. I've mixed, you know, a formula, and I'm thinking I'm going to remember, right? I didn't. Sure didn't. So when it was time for me to recreate it, I thought that, hey, I could remember that. I did not. So I had to go back to the drawing board trying to figure out what was those measurements, because your measurements will make a difference in your color. You could have, you know, 1/4 for this and, you know, whatever, you know, half a, you know, I said cup, but half a teaspoon of this or 1/4 teaspoon. And you could use the same color, but the measurement, the amount of the color is different. The water. So you got to have that whole formula, just like you're baking a cake. You need to make sure that you have your recipe. your lace tint formula. So again, I want to encourage you to get a notebook, put it in your phone, but you want to write everything down. How much salt you use, how much water you use. I mean, you want to write everything down, okay? So you could perfect this, especially if you want to, you know, eventually start to sell this. You want to be able to, you know, make it in bulk and all that. So again, you need to make sure that you have a notebook or in your phone, you want to write it down. Another thing that you want to do, guys, let's go back and talk about the lace. When you test your color, because once you make your lace spray, you need to actually test it. You want to see how it look on lace. Again, different lace will look different with that same lace tint. So if you try to work on a formula and you want to say you want to make 4 different colors, okay, 3, whatever, 4 different colors. So you want to have lace from that same vendor, the same lace, okay? You want to cut it 4 ways, but if you testing out 4 different lace. Now, because if you test it on this lace and then you test it on, you know, then you use it on another type lace, it could look totally different. I know, I've done it. It could look totally different from vendor to vendor. So I want you to understand that. So once I test my lace, I like the color, is you know, it's right on. What I would do is I would take a sample of the lace that I just tinted, and I would take it and I would tape it into my notebook where that formula is, okay? So say formula number 1, you know, I will tint my lace. That little piece that I have actually tinted, I will put it in my notebook. I just tape it down. I tape it really good because you don't want to lose it, okay? Because you want to be able to create your own formula and the colors and things like that. So you won't have to keep redoing it over and over again. So you want to do that as well. I do recommend for you to get different lace if you know you're going to be using different type of lace. Sometimes when I get a factory frontal or closure, I test that lace as well because lace is on it. So when I cut, you know, I don't like waste anything, okay? But anyway, so I use that lace as well just to see how that color is going to look on that particular lace from that particular vendor, okay? So let's get into it. So I'm going to show you the whole setup, gone through that, and now we're going to go ahead and get into it. Okay. Hopefully you can hear me through this mask, okay? But again, I got my colors from the wig department, and when they send it to you guys, they're going to give you this little printout here. And it just tell you, you know, of course, for safety purpose, gloves, mask, just like what I'm telling you today. Now, it's not going to give you any kind of formulas. You have to come up with your own formulas, guys. So I don't want you to think that they're going to tell you what color to get. No, they're not going to tell you that. The only thing will tell just basic information, how to mix and using hot water, using, you know, salt and things like that. So it's just basic information. Although also it goes over the color guide. My number 1, which is this is black. Number 2 is dark brown with a red tones. Number 3 is a warm medium brown, and number 4, this is number 4. So number 4 is a dark red brown. Number 5 is a very warm, bright orange. Use sparingly, it says. That's what it has on here. Use sparingly. And then number 6 is your yellow, even though it doesn't look like it's yellow, but this is yellow. and to add yellow skin tone. Okay, so it's going to give you that yellow undertone on your lace. So I don't use a whole lot of this, but I do use it. When I first started, I actually got little samples, and you could actually invest in a little bit of samples at first if you don't want to go and get the larger size. Now, when you get these, guys, it's not full. I'm just telling you. It's probably a little bit more than this. Maybe, I don't even think it's halfway, okay? But they tell you the measurements of it. But, you know, when you see these big things, you think it's going to be, you know, full. You don't use a lot. No, it's not going to be full to the brim. I just want to let you know that. When I first started, because I didn't know if I actually want to do this or not, if it was going to work for me, I started off with these little jars. So you could get these little sample jars. Again, they are not full to the brim, but it still was enough. And I think at that time I got 5. Okay. So I have still, let's see, do I have some in? Nope, I've used all of it out of here. But these are the sample size that you could order from them if you want to just check it out before you really invest in the large size. Again, I know I said it so many times, but I want to keep saying it because I have made the mistake and not, you know, written anything down, or, you know, I don't write down all the steps, and then at the end of it, because you never know, you could actually just, you know, because you're just playing with colors trying to see. I have done this for 8 hours, okay, and in a day, and still haven't came out with a perfect color. Okay, especially with African American people, Black people, we all have different skin tones. Some people are really light, some people are really dark. So if you want to create a lace tint that it will cover all those skin tones, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time because one color doesn't work for everyone. Now, one color can work for maybe 3 different shades. You know, that's possible. But you still want to be able, especially, again, if you want to do this to sell it, or you're doing this for your client, you're a wig maker, wig designer, and you want to make sure that you have the right color for your client. It's just going to take some time, guys. So that's just all into it. Unless you just want to purchase it from someone else. So again, you want to write down everything. So what I would do is I would start off with trying to really make the lightest color first, and then I go darker. What you need to do, make sure that you're going to write down everything. You want to make sure you have your lace over to the side, and you're going to start measuring. Now, I've already had my water on. I'm going to turn it back on so you're going to hear it. It's going to get kind of loud. But you want your water to be really hot, okay? So I just have this little bowl that I use when I'm measuring it out as well. So I'm going to start with a 1/4 teaspoon. Okay, so that's this. And with these measuring spoons, they come with a little level, so you can kind of, you know, because you don't want a heap. You want to make sure that it's measured all out, just like that, okay? Because you don't want to waste any product. So this is number 2. And this is a 1/4 teaspoon. Measure that out. Just dump that in there. Make sure you get all of it out. And I'll go ahead and close it back up because, again, you don't want to accidentally knock it over or anything. 1/4 of a teaspoon of the number 2. So the number 2 is the dark brown with the red tone, okay? So I'm gonna put down here 1/4, and I'm just gonna say number 2. I'm not gonna write down all that. So that's 1/4, and then what else I'm gonna use? Actually, let me see, everything is bubbling now, so it's good and hot. I'm gonna turn that off. Guys, I'm gonna use my little cheat sheet that I've already used. So, okay, so I have 1/4 of the number 2, which is this. Okay, and then I need 1/4 of number 3, which is this color right here. Number 3 is the warm medium brown. So I need 1/4 of that. Again, so that was number 3. So 1/4 of number 3. Okay. Close that up. And then I need 1/4 of number 5. And number 5 is the very warm, bright orange. It says use it sparingly. Actually, I'm not going to use 1/4 of that. I'm going to use 1/8. With these measuring cups, it comes with these little spoons here. And like this is 1 tad, 1 drop, 1 smidge, 1 pinch. And what is the other one? And 1 dash. 1 dash is actually 1/8 of a teaspoon. Okay, pinch is 1/16 of a teaspoon. So you could actually end up using this if you don't want to use. So I'm going to use, yeah, I think I am going to, I'm going to use, let's see, I'm going to use this one. And this is the 1/8, just like that. I am going to go ahead and use 1/8. Okay, because you want to use this sparingly. Okay, so I'll do 1/8 of number, is that number 5? Yep, number 5. And then I'm going to use, so I'm going to use 1/2 a teaspoon of salt, okay? So I'm not going to put this over my container. I'll use my level here. Put that in there, okay? Go ahead and just mix all the dry ingredients together. Mix it all up. Okay, so that was, let me write that down. So that's a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Okay, now I'm going to take my hot water and I'm going to use 1 cup of hot water. See that steam? It is really hot. Okay, I'm gonna pour that in there. Use my spoon. And I'm just gonna mix everything up. Because you want everything to really dissolve, okay? Up. So my spoon looked pretty dark, guys. It looks really dark. So with this, I have not dyed this at all. So let me cut this up. So this haven't been dyed at all. Just cut just a small little piece. Okay. It's real thin. So that's the piece, and I'm just gonna drop it in. And when I drop it in, I typically let it stay in there for like a minute. Now, if I'm going to say I'm making a frontal or closure, or I'm just redoing my hairline and I'm using lace, I will go ahead and tint my lace first before I even, you know, start off with my piece with my lace. I go ahead and tint that first to the color that it needs to be, okay? So once it's been in there, I know it hasn't been a minute, but once it's been in there for a minute, I would just go ahead and take that out. Let me put my gloves back on. Okay, go ahead and take it out. So if you can see this, and I just set it to the side, or get a paper towel and just let it dry, okay? So I just let it dry, and then I go back and take a look at it. Guys, once I get finished with dyeing this, it's dry, I will take it and then I would use warm water. I run the warm water over this because some of the excess dye is going to come off, and that's what you want. Any excess, you want it to come off. Then that's going to show you the real color, okay? And what I found out, when you go into a stylist and they use lace tint for that, you know, that time being, to get you that style, that look, to, you know, so it could look like skin, look like your scalp. But say if you're going to shampoo your wig yourself, when you shampoo it, even when you're using, you know, some products on your hairline, if they have already tinted that lace around your hairline, sometimes it, you know, that lace tint will lift. I mean, it's not the same color anymore. Or even when you shampoo your wig or your frontal or your closure, some of that color will come off. So I do recommend that if you are, say you're not a wig maker, say you buy your wig, you get them custom designed or whatever, it is good for you to ask them what type of lace tint that they are actually using, especially if you're not going to go into a stylist or anything. So when that person make your wig, and they're going to use, if they use lace tint to be comparable with your skin tone, you need to ask them to see if they will be able to give you the name of the lace tint that they actually use on your wig. So once you shampoo it, you will have your own lace tint, so you could, you know, recreate that look. Because if you don't, and that lace tint come off when you're washing it, it's not going to look the same. Okay, so I do want to encourage you, if you get someone to do it for you, you go ahead and ask them, what is that color or what is that brand that you're using, so I can recreate that myself. Some wig makers, they make their own, just like I do. So it's, you know, if they don't sell it, they don't make it, you know, for you, and then you got to, you know, just see what they kind of recommend for you to use. But I think in the future, I do want to start selling the lace tint, because it's just part of the illusion. It's part of the steps, you know, to get that look that you want. So you need to make sure that you do have a really good lace tint. Now, when you shampoo your wig, all the lace tint should not come off. It shouldn't. If it's a good lace tint, some of it, especially that first time you shampoo your wig right after, yes, you're gonna see some in the sink, but that's why I recommend for you to invest in your own lace tint, okay? So once I do that, I rinse it off, and then I kind of hold it up against my skin, you know, just to see where it is. And if I want a little bit darker, then I know I need to maybe use less water or more product, or if I want to go lighter, you could, you know, you want to use less. Like I said, this would take you all day to come up with a formula. But whatever that formula is, you want to make sure, yes, you write it down, okay? It's very imperative, because if you don't, I'm telling you, hunty, you're going to be mad. And I'm like, I told you to write it down, okay? So you want to make sure you do that. So these are the things that I use, and I've been using this for quite some time. But with this, even though it's not full, it will last you for a long period of time, especially, you know, if you're not making it to sell, okay? So with this, so now that I know that I like this color, you know, I would take a clean bottle, and I know this is not clean, I've used it before, but I would take this, take my funnel, just like this. You just need to take your time. Let me take my time. That water's still warm. Trying to make sure I see what I'm doing. Okay. Just like that. See how much is right here? It's right there. Because usually I do, a lot of time I do a cup and a half of water. So that's why I said before, it's end up being a little bit more than this. So if you want to go up maybe to the top, maybe a cup and 1/4 maybe cup, will probably take it all the way up to the top. And I think that this is actually 8 ounces. I have to look and give you the ounces, but I'm actually going to insert some pictures of these spray bottles. Another thing, guys, I have invest in other lace tint when I was, just researching. Make sure that your spray bottle, your spray nozzle works, because you don't want to get a lace tint. I purchased lace tint and then the nozzle, it doesn't even work. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and also you want it to be a mist. Okay, you want it to be a mist. You don't want it to be, like a regular spray bottle and how it spray out. You will waste a lot of product. So you want it, I think a mist spray bottle is best for this. And also, you could kind of, like I said, you don't want to waste product. So if you want to actually do this in the future for clients and things like that, I do want you to invest in, make sure that your nozzle works, because again, looking at reviews online is, some people, it's like, hey, I got it, but I can't use it because my nozzle doesn't work. And it's all into it. I mean, things happen, but you want to make sure. But so these are the things that I have used. You need to make sure that you invest in it. Again, it's going to take some time to actually get your formula down. But once you have it, you got it. Once you have your formula, if you want to go back and redo it, you could go in and kind of tweak it some. Like I said, again, sometimes you maybe want less water. Because you could have the same measurements of what I just gave you. So say you use a cup and a half and you use 2 cups of hot water. It's going to give you a different color. It's going to be even lighter. So sometimes, guys, you could just go with the same colors. Say if you want, now, let me recommend, if I were you, if you don't want to get all 6 of these, I would say I will really get number 2. Number 2 is what? Is the dark brown red undertone, okay? I will really get that. I will get 2, 3, and 4. So this is 2, that's 4. So 2, 3, and 4. These are the colors I will get, definitely. So if you don't get anything else, I think that that will be your starting point. Now, if you want to go and add a little yellow undertone, you could do this, but I don't use that often, actually. But I just wanted to have something here. So again, I was just playing with it and trying to get my colors right. So that's why I decided to go ahead and invest in all 6. I don't know if they have any other added colors because I've had these for about a year and a half now, so I haven't had to reorder them. But so they could have different colors now. I don't know. I haven't been on their website to even see about that. Also, I do want you to try to get, I would say, 4 different colors, 3 to 4 different colors, especially if you want to start doing this and selling it. If you could get 3 to 4 different colors, I think that that would kind of, you know, cover all those different skin tones that we have as African American. So again, I just want to just give you some really good information. I know I've been telling you for over a year now that I'm going to actually show you how I get my colors. Okay, so if you have any questions, please feel free to leave me a comment and I will get back with you as soon as possible. Okay, guys, make sure that you just kind of play with it. Like I said, invest in yourself. So if you don't want to do this, go ahead. It's a wig department. Get your little samples and try those out. To me, this came out to be better than the rent dye or the other colors. Again, if that's all you could do, you have to do the same thing. You just have to take a little bit and just try to get your color down and write everything down. Okay, I know I keep saying that, but I keep saying that because it was just, it was devastating that I got the right color. It was perfect. It was perfect. Finally, perfect. And then I couldn't remember it. You know, I was mad. I was mad at myself. So I don't want you to go through that. So that's why I keep reiterating it over and over again. Write it down. Put it in your phone. And when you write it down, you want to make sure that you number it. Another thing, if you see here the little tape, so say my first formula is number 1. Okay, so say that number 1. So I just did this number 1. So what I would do is, it's number 3 on here because it was number 3. So on that little sticker on there, I put number 1. So I know that this is that color. And you want to make sure that it's, you know, use some tape because you don't want it to come off, because if it comes off, you're not going to know what it is. Okay, and then also that's going to, as you make them, and you just keep number them. I think this came with 6 when I bought them from Amazon. So you could just, you know, like I said, once you don't like that color, you could pour it out and, you know, whatever, clean it out and then redo it. But you do want to invest in your spray bottles, but also you want to get some tape and write down the number until you get, you know, once you get everything the way you want, then you can make up your names. So, you know, chocolate or, you know, mocha, cocoa, whatever those colors you want, you know, you want to name your lace tint. But again, write everything down. You're going to number everything. And you're going to put the number on your bottle or your name on the bottle so you'll know what is what. So you won't be confused, okay? Again, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, guys, wear your crown with confidence every single day. And until next time, talk to you soon. Love you. Bye-bye.